Good morning, everyone. I am Danny Smith, and I am with Living Balance Studios here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm really excited to guide you through this yoga flow this morning. As you do this practice, I do want you to challenge yourself, but also take care of your body. You yourself know your physical challenges and your limits, but please keep in mind that I myself, Danny, and Living Balance Studio cannot be held liable or responsible for any injuries that you might incur during this practice. If you do want to look at the full disclaimer, you can head over to the Living Balance Studios website to read up on that more, but that was a brief overview from me. So without further ado, I do want to begin this practice. So go ahead and hop onto your mats. And if you do have any sort of prop or blocks or anything like that, go ahead and grab it. Pillows or blankets are also a good prop as well. So I want to invite everyone to begin this practice actually lying on our backs. So if you do have your block or blanket or pillow or whatever you do have available to you, I will say that we are going to be working on a sacral area focused flow this morning. So lots of work with our hips, stabilizing our bodies, and really giving that second chakra some love on this Sunday morning. This is going to be about a 30 to 40 minute flow, but you don't need to pay attention to the time. That's on me. So I'm going to invite everyone to begin lying down with their block or their pillow or whatever under their sacral area this morning. And if you want to play some music in the background of your flow, feel free. Got my block. It's not on my lower back. See the difference there? It's actually right under my coccyx area where it meets my tailbone. That's our sacral area. And we're just going to let our legs fall freely, letting our arms come to our sides. Exhaling into our mats this morning. Doing a body scan, starting at the toes, going up to the shins and the calves, rising up to the knees, the quadriceps, hamstrings, our glutes, our hips, waist, our lower back, our solar plexus, our tummy area, our chests, arms, throats, all the way to the crown. Releasing every bit of tension we have in our bodies. Zeroing in on our focus this morning. Acknowledging the four corners of the room that you're in. And then centering even more to the four corners of your mat. Breathing evenly this morning. Let's inhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Holding at the bottom. Inhaling 3, 2, 1. Holding at the top. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Once more, inhaling, 3, 2, 1, holding. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Unfurrowing the eyebrows if there's still some tension there. Letting your feet fall wherever they fall. Now would be a beautiful time to set an intention for your practice this morning. Since we're working with the sacral area, we can maybe set an intention in strength or growth. Our second chakra is where our strength lives. If you're needing a little inspiration, some examples could be, I am strong, I am talented, I am loved. Deep inhale, taking that intention and moving it up. And exhaling that intention, rooting it in the earth below us. Beginning our yoga flow this morning. Let's inhale and press our bodies up and remove that block or pillow or whatever we have beneath our sacral area, and exhale and lower the body to the mat. Bringing the heels to the sit bones so our legs are nice and bent here. Inhaling and raising the right leg straight in the air. Exhaling and bending at the knee and beginning to form a figure 4 with our right ankle landing on our left knee here. Lifting the left leg and putting our hands, twisting them through, meeting up the left hamstring for a gentle outer hip stretch here. Supine pigeon, if you will. Be here for 3 breaths. Each time we inhale, and as we exhale, put those exhales to the part of your body that you're feeling the stretch, the tension. It'll help release it. Inhaling 1 more breath here. And exhale, gently lowering that left leg. Inhale, raising the right leg to counter the bend we just did. And exhaling, bending that right leg back to the earth. Inhale, straightening the left leg now. And as we exhale, begin to bend at the knee and meet your left ankle to your right knee, making a figure 4. Rising that right leg in the air and taking the hands and placing them through on the right hamstring. As we're in our supine pigeon here, be mindful of your feet. Keep them flexed, engaging all parts of your lower half. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Releasing that tension and that stretch in the outer left hip. One more inhale here. And exhale, begin to gently lower the right leg here. Inhale, straightening that left leg to counter the bend. And exhale, bringing the left leg down to the earth. Inhale, stretching the legs and the arms. Big good morning stretch here. And exhale, bending the knees, meeting at the chest, giving yourself a hug and tucking the chin. Inhale here. And exhaling. Letting ourselves know that we are enough. forward and backward until you come up to a nice seated, easy pose. Adjusting ourselves as needed. Moving anything extra on our sit bones if we need to. Putting our hands on our knees for a little bit of grounding this morning. Closing the eyes. Stacking the vertebrae beautifully, one on top of the other, all the way to the crown. Inhale, raising the shoulders up to the ears. And exhaling them down and away. Really releasing any tension here. Inhale and raise the gaze to the sky. And exhale, begin to point down the drishti, your gaze, towards the earth, creating a cute little double chin. Inhale and trace your collarbone, leading your ear up to that left shoulder, left ear to left shoulder here, creating a beautiful stretch in the right side of the neck. Inhale here, and exhale. Inhale, tracing the collarbone through center, all the way until we reach the right ear to the right shoulder. Stretching the left side of the neck, beautiful. Inhaling through center, we're flowing here. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhaling through center once more, tracing that collarbone with our chin. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Inhale, coming to center and then stopping in the middle. Putting our hands in front of us, palms facing one another, fingertips touching the earth. Gaze is still at the earth. We inhale, raising our hands overhead, gaze follow. Exhaling. Inhale here. And then exhale, begin to drop the left arm towards the earth. Leaning to the left side and right arm is overhead. Gaze is to that right bicep. Inhale, fanning the arms through center. And exhaling to the right sides of our body, this time the left arm overhead. Gaze at that left bicep. Flowing here, let's inhale through center, fanning. Exhale, leaning to the left side, beautiful. Inhaling through center once more. Dropping the right arm, exhaling, very good. Inhale back to center, but remain there. Exhale out, gaze up to the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, begin to twist to the left side, dropping the left arm behind us as a little kickstand. Right hand is on left quad, and we're beginning a gentle spinal twist here. Shoulders should be away from the ears, and gaze should be towards that back left shoulder. Inhale here. And exhale out. Inhaling, beginning to untwist ourselves. Arms come back up directly overhead. Exhale, begin to twist the other way, right side. Right arm becomes that kickstand, left arm to that right quad. Paying attention to how one side feels compared to the other. Inhale here. And exhale out. Inhaling, beginning to untwist ourselves here. Arms raising up overhead. And exhale, hinging at the waist and then just bowing forward. Seated forward fold here. To engage our back a little bit more, giving our shoulder blades a little bit of more love, we can tent our fingers and then straighten the arms, and you will feel a beautiful stretch in those shoulder blades, specifically the bottom of them. Letting the head be very light here. Let it hang. One more inhale here. And as we exhale, begin to walk our fingers towards our legs, stacking our vertebrae and helping us back into our easy seated pose. And however you get there, begin to sweep the feet and meet me in a nice tabletop position. So a few things with our tabletop. Wrists, elbows, and shoulders should all be stacked beautifully. Eyes of the elbows should be facing the front of your mat. Your hips and your knees should be a beautiful line as well. And our feet should be nice little flippers. We don't want them pointing inward or outward. Believe it or not, this is saving the knees. So let's begin here, just finding ourselves in our tabletop, our own version of tabletop, with our backs as flat as they can be, joints stacked beautifully. And we inhale here, and exhale, finding that beautiful, stable tabletop. Next, inhale, let's raise the gaze and raise the bottom half into a beautiful cow pose here. Exhaling, we're beginning to round the back, creating space between the shoulder blades, cat pose. Flowing here now. Inhale, we go to cow. Exhaling, rounding the back, tucking that tailbone, cat. Inhaling to cow. Exhaling, cat. One more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Coming back to our neutral table, let's just start to move our bodies in directions that give us stretches but don't really make sense. It can be anything that feels good. Just getting any twists and turns out of that. Coming back to our tabletop here, we feel like we've gotten our cute little stretches in. Let's tuck our toes here. Inhaling deeply. And exhale, raising our back half, downward dog. Few things with down dog here. Our head should be between our biceps, and it should be nice and light. Imagine I have a string, just pulling that bottom half towards the sky. Let's begin to walk our dog here, bending the right leg, then the left. Once more, bending the right, and then the left. Finding ourselves back in our downward dog here. Let's inhale and exhale. Inhaling once more, feeling the fire we're recreating with our down dog. Exhale out. Inhale, let's walk our hands forward and meet in a high plank. Inhaling here, and we can come to our knees if we'd like. As such, untucking the toes. And then we exhale down, chaturanga. And let's just be in this lying position for a moment. Creating ourselves a beautiful little baby cobra to begin. Let's move the palms of the hands actually to the tops of our rib cage. Arms should be at the side body. Let's inhale here and come up to our little baby cobra. You should feel this in your lower back. Exhale back down. This time inhaling, we're at a teenage cobra, lifting a little bit more. Exhale down. Inhaling this time, your fullest version of cobra or up dog. Exhale down. Inhaling, pushing ourselves up, only to glide back, widening our knees, big toes together, and just bowing into a child's pose for a moment here. Letting the foreheads rest on the earth and sitting back on our heels as much as we can. Child's pose is actually a beautiful hip opener if you allow it to be, making sure that we're comfortable though. One more breath here. Next exhale, pushing ourselves up back to a tabletop here. Finding again our joints stacked beautifully, yeah? Making sure that the eyes of the elbows are facing forward. Let's tuck our toes here. Inhale deeply. Exhale, down dog. Inhaling, let's begin to walk our feet to our hands. Exhale, meeting in a forward fold. Getting our hands opposite elbows here, getting a little ragdoll action. Let's inhale here. And exhale out. Gently swaying to the left sides of our bodies. Drifting back towards the center. And then gently moving to the right side. Coming back to center here, releasing the hands, forward folds. Inhale, hands to shins, and we half lift. I should be able to take a little cup of coffee, place it on the low of your back, and it will not spill in a half lift. Exhale, back down, forward fold. Inhale, let's reverse swan dive, hands overhead here. Exhale, hands are coming to our sides. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Feeling a little warm after that nice little warm up there. Beginning in our mountain pose, let's head into some sun salutations, yeah? Follow my cues, we're gonna flow with our breath. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, we half lift. Exhaling, planting the hands on the earth, stepping back into plank or coming to the knees, and down, chaturanga. Inhale, your expression of cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, down dog. Inhaling, walking the feet to the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we half lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, reverse swan dive, hands overhead. Exhale, bringing hands to sides, Tadasana. Should be feeling very warm by now. Heading into our beautiful chair pose this morning, creating that nice stability in our sacral area and our lower half. So, a few things with chair pose. Number one, feet are hip bone width apart, not so much hip width apart, and this is gonna look different for everybody. I want everyone to lift all 10 of their toes, and as you lower them back down to the earth, feel the grounding of each corner of your foot on both feet. Starting in our mountain pose here, inhaling and raising the arms, shoulder height, palms facing one another here. Shoulders away from the ears. And as we exhale, begin to descend towards the earth. Something with chair pose though. We don't want our tailbones tucking out like this. Pelvic floor should be nice and parallel with the earth. Chair pose. You'll feel it in your quads. You'll feel it in your shins. Remember, those exhales will release that tension that you are feeling. Be with your chair. Inhaling here. Exhaling out. Very good. One more inhale here. Inhale. Exhale, standing up and releasing. Shaking out anything we need to. Beautiful. Once more, beginning in our mountain pose here, heading into a beautiful chair once more. Making sure each corner of our feet are grounded. Inhaling, raising the arms, shoulder height, palms facing one another. Exhaling, beginning to bend the legs, descending to the earth. Pelvic floor is parallel with the earth. We can have a little fun with our chair here. If this is your chair and you love it, then you stick with it. If you want something different, hands can come to prayer. Hands can come directly overhead. Or they can stay shoulder height. Up to you. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling once more. Exhale, standing up and releasing. Very good, guys. I know that we're feeling it. Remember, the sacral area is where growth resides, and we're growing this morning, but know your limits. Once more, standing in our mountain pose. Inhaling, arms coming up, shoulder height, palm facing one another. Exhale, descending towards the earth. I invite everyone to bring their hands into prayer with me, and we're going to flow a little bit. Let's inhale here. And as we exhale, begin to rotate, dropping that right elbow to the left knee. Inhaling, we twist through center. Exhale, left elbow to right knee. Inhaling through center once more. Right elbow, left knee. Inhaling through center. Exhale, left elbow, right knee. Inhaling through center here. We can stay here or we can come to the toes. Exhale. One more inhale here. Exhale, release. Very good. Shaking anything out that we need to. Hands at our sides, Tadasana. Inhale, hands coming overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we have lift. Exhale, planting the hands, your version of plank or knees, and down, chaturanga. Inhale, your expression of cobra. Exhale, knees coming to the earth, widening them out, big toes together, and just bowing into a child's pose here briefly. Two more breaths here. Reflecting back on our intention that we set for our practice. Understanding our body and how it's feeling. And now let's come up to a tabletop. Again, meeting with our joints beautifully stacked here. Tucking the toes, nice deep inhale. You know where we're going here. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, let's raise the right leg straight up into a 3-legged dog. And exhale here, guys. Inhale once more. And exhale, begin to bend at the knee. Foot is flexed, opening up the hip for a scorpion. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, straighten the right leg once more, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bringing that knee to chest. And then planting that foot in between the hands. Adjusting as necessary here. We're coming into a low lunge. Few things here. Our feet can be on some sort of a tightrope type deal, or if your feet need to be more on a train track, if that makes sense, widening the stance a little bit. Whatever works for you, my only thing is that you keep your hips square with the front of your mat. So here we are, low lunge. Beginning to actually lower that back left heel to the ground and pointing our foot at a 45-degree angle, preparing ourselves for warrior one. Let's inhale here, preparing ourselves. And exhale, rising up, warrior one. Few things here, guys. Our rib cages and our hips should be square with the front of our mat. Coming back to our tabletop, our knee should be directly over the ankle, stacked beautifully. And on our back foot, I want the very back edge of that left foot also planted on the earth. That means you need to widen your stance a little bit. That's completely fine. Woo. So here we are, warrior one. Let's inhale here, and exhale out. Inhaling once more, and exhale, beginning to fan the arms, rotating that back foot so it's actually parallel with the backs of our mats. Warrior two. Again, hips this time should be square with the sides of our mat. Knee is not dumping inward or outward. And there's an equal distribution of energy between the back leg and the front. Warrior two. Inhale here. And exhale, releasing any tension in the shoulders. I know we're feeling it in that right quad, guys. You can do it. Inhale, and actually straighten that front leg. We're beginning to hinge forward at the waist. And then we drop the front arm, the right arm, to the ankle, meeting in a triangle pose. And if you do have a block, and if you want a little bit more support for this pose, you can take your block and actually place it in the inside of that right foot. Just giving ourselves a little bit more love. No shame in my block game. I love blocks. No shame in using blocks here. Let's inhale here. And exhale. And acknowledge the areas that this beautiful asana is working on. Feeling it in that left outer oblique and hip area. And then feeling it in the right groin and hamstring. Removing the block if you do have one. In our triangle, let's begin to bend that front right leg, rainbowing that left arm back down, framing our front right foot and actually turning our left foot so it points with our right. We're stepping back, inhaling to plank here, and exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. And exhale. Let's widen our knees and big toes together in just a brief child's pose here, just recharging for our other side. Coming back up to our tabletop here, guys. Getting our joints all stacked beautifully here. You know where we're headed, yeah? What we do to one side, we do to the other. So we're tucking our toes here. Inhale deeply, exhale, down dog. Be with your dog here. We should be nice and loose, yeah? Inhaling, raising that left leg straight in the air, three-legged dog. Exhale. Inhale, and then bend that left leg, foot is flexed, opening the hip, scorpion. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhaling, we're straightening that left leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, bringing it knee to chest. Exhale. Planting that left foot, and we're meeting in a low lunge. Again, only disclaimer here is that our hips are square with the fronts of our mats. Hands are framing that left foot, adjusting as necessary. Beginning to lower that back right heel, and then our foot is at a 45-degree angle. Again, our feet can be on a tightrope, or they can be more on a train track, yeah? Only disclaimer again, hips square with the fronts of our mats. Inhale here, preparing to rise as we go into our warrior one. Inhaling, and exhale, we rise. Warrior one. One side is always going to feel different than the other, guys. Inhale here. And exhale out. Inhaling once more. Exhale, beginning to fan the arms, rotating that back foot. And we are in warrior two. One side is always going to feel different than the other. So if your hips need a little bit more love, as you'll see, mine are a tiny bit pointing this way. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my right foot and actually just step it back a tiny bit. That's it. And see how much of a difference that makes? Warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale out. Inhaling here. Exhaling out. Inhale, straightening that front left leg, hinging forward at the waist, and dropping that left arm into our triangle. Again, using a block if we need to, or we can use our ankle for a little bit of support. I just don't want to see anybody leaning into their knees or even their shins really, yeah? We want to save our joints, save our muscles. We're trying to tenderize them here, yeah? Triangle pose. Again, feeling that stretch in the right oblique, tiny bit in our hip, and then the left groin and hamstring. 2 more breaths. Inhale and begin to bend that front left leg again. Removing a block if we have one. And then bringing that right arm down, framing that front foot, and actually rotating our back foot to be pointing in front with our left. And then we're going to step our right foot and meet actually in a forward fold here. Nice forward fold here. Inhale, we have lift. Exhale down. Inhale, we reverse swan dive, hands overhead. Exhale, hands coming to our sides, mountain pose. Beautiful. Slowly winding down, focusing on our hips a little bit more here, heading into our malasana or yogi squat. So we can widen our feet a little bit more, probably about shoulder width to begin with. And we're actually going to take our feet and point them outward at 45-degree angles. Have a block handy just in case you do need one or have been using one, because there is a substitution that would help with this pose. So we're beginning with our hands overhead. Inhaling them up, meeting in a prayer. And as we exhale, bringing our hands to chest, and then actually bending the legs and descending towards the earth, coming into our yogi squat. And this is where the block comes in. If you know that your hips are still a little bit tight this morning, you can actually take your block and begin to sit on this block or a pillow or whatever you have, stack of blankets. And this can be your yogi squat for our first attempt. Thing here though is the goal is to have the heels planted on the earth and have our elbows actually on the insides of our knees as we're in prayer. Whatever your yogi squat looks like is perfect. If you do need to widen your stance a little bit, make it a little bit easier on those hips, totally fine as well. Again, listen to your body and you know your limits. So this is our first yogi squat. We're inhaling here. Exhaling out and making sure that our shoulders are away from the ears. Inhale here. Exhale out. Using our inhale to actually help us guide our bodies straight back up, we're going to begin to inhale here. Raising our hands overhead. Exhale, hands release to sides. Feeling a little bit more loose than we had. We're going to descend into our yogi squat once more. Inhaling, arms directly overhead here. Exhaling, bringing the hands to chest and then descending towards the earth. And if you don't need the block this time, that's totally fine. I'm actually going to remove mine. And meeting in our yogi squat. Just be. Whatever your yogi squat looks like is perfect. Just making sure that our feet, 45-degree angles, Widen the stance if you need to. Just be. Using our inhale to boost ourselves back up, we inhale, beginning to raise our prayer hands, lengthening our legs. Exhale, releasing the hands to sides. Swaying back and forth, just giving a little bit of WD-40 to those hips this morning, yeah? Should be feeling nice and loose now. Here we are in our mountain hands. We're inhaling, arms directly overhead here. Exhaling, bringing the hands to heart center once more and descending towards the earth. Yogi squat. I invite everyone to create a lotus flower with me here. Pinkies together and thumbs together, creating a lotus flower. Our sacral area is where our strength resides. We can be strong but vulnerable, and that's what the lotus inspires us to do. Closing the eyes, holding our lotus flower, and just imagining a beautiful orb of orange energy at our sacral area. It's so warm and welcoming and loving and strong. 2 more breaths here. Let's inhale. Exhale out. Inhaling once more. Exhale out. Using our next inhale to help us raise, leaving our lotus flower as is, raising it to the sky. Exhaling, releasing our lotus flower, and hands come to sides, mountain pose. Heel toeing our toes back to face forward, not at 45-degree here in our mountain pose. Let's inhale, arms directly overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we half lift. Exhaling, planting those hands, stepping back into plank or coming to the knees. Down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhaling, lowering the knees. We widen them, tucking the big toes together and bowing into a child's pose here. Being able to sit back further now on our heels than before. Exhaling out. Inhaling, rising up to our tabletop, only to sweep our feet. And coming into a nice seated position with our hands under our knees. Vertebrae are nice and straight here, shoulders away from the ears. Raising the gaze, inhale here. And as we exhale, round the back and then begin to lower it down to the earth, allowing the vertebrae to kiss it. Kiss the earth one at a time, engaging the core until we can finally release on the earth. Lying here, let's lift our legs to legs up the wall pose. Feet are flexed here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and bring the legs to the chest. And just giving ourselves a big hug. Lowering our top half back down to the earth, shoulders meet. Raising the legs and actually grabbing the outsides of our feet or wherever feels comfortable. Just coming into our happy baby. We can be still here or we can gently rock back and forth. Giving a gentle, gentle massage to the lower half of our back. Isn't it incredible how we started off so tiny as babies? And then we grow into our beautiful bodies that we have now. All of our bodies have endured so much since we were children and babies. And that in itself is amazing. Hugging our legs once more, tucking the chin, crunching every contracted body and muscle. Inhale here. Exhale, we release. Legs straighten, arms come overhead. We just exhale into our final asana, Savasana. Savasana is a part of the practice where you allow your body to recharge and to thank it. Letting every muscle be tender. Muscles in the face, the eyebrows. Nothing is working here besides your heart. Allowing the mind one last time to reflect on the intention you set for this practice. Thanking our bodies for all that they do for us. Gently acknowledging the space that you're in. Beginning to gently roll to the left side of our body. Using our bottom arm as a nice little pillow. And just taking a few more moments to really thank ourselves for being here, growing every day. Taking that top hand and gently pushing ourselves back up. Sweeping the feet so we meet in a nice, easy seated pose. Hands coming to the sides here. Let's inhale them up directly overhead, meeting in prayer. Exhale, bringing our prayer hands to our third eye. May we think kind thoughts. Bringing our prayer hands to our mouths. Only speaking the truth. And finally, lowering our hands to our hearts, tucking the chin. May we feel and know that we are all enough. The light in me honors the light that shines so bright in each and every one of you this morning. Go out and be amazing, and thank you for allowing me to teach you this morning. Namaste.